Okay, Be'ezrat Hashem.
No, you
Continue. 100. We're in the middle of Pasuk Tet. Or in the Pasuk Tet, Maasei, because we don't. Vayatzmach Hashem Elohim mina Adama. Hashem bloomed. Yeah? That's what's the translation there?
It's caused to sprout.
Caused to sprouted, yeah. From the earth. Kol etz nechmad lemar'eh. All trees that is nice to the sight. V'tov le'ma'achal, and good to eat. Ve'etz ha'chayim, and the tree of life. Betoch hagan, inside, in the middle of the garden. Ve'etz ha'da'at, and the tree of knowledge. Tov v'ra, good and bad. So says the Ramban. So that's what he's focusing on, right?
Yeah.
בעבור שאמר הכתוב ועץ החיים בתוך הגן ולא אמר בגן. What's the problem of the Ramban? He's coming to address a question. What's the question? How does Adam Arishon know which tree is Etz Hadat Tov V'Ra and the Etz HaChaim? Right? So he answers, בעבור שאמר הכתוב ועץ החיים בתוך הגן, that the Etz HaChaim is inside, in betoch, or in the middle of the gan, and he didn't say bagan, he didn't say in the gan. So you know, it identified its location, right? So the Ramban is basically bothered. Okay, HaKadosh Baruch Hu created, he planted all these trees, beautiful trees. And now he tells him, from that tree you cannot eat. Okay, there's thousands of trees. How do I know which one it is? He didn't. In the Torah doesn't tell you which.
But he's in the gan.
Yes, but there's a lot of trees in the gan.
Right. So saying betoch hagan doesn't really add much.
No. But okay. Right. So what? So that right. So the question is, what does the word betoch really means? Right? Because if it just says in the gan, then you don't need to say betoch. Say bagan in the gan. Betoch, it means in the middle. Ve'od she'amar, the pasuk says, Umeperi es ha'es asher betoch hagan. That's what, who says that? That's what Chava tells the Nachash, right? Amar Elohim lo tochlu mimeno. Right? The tree that is inside betoch hagan, in the middle of the gan, you're not allowed to eat. Shelo izkiro ve'lo hodi'o b'shem acher. It doesn't have the name, the specific tree doesn't have a special name and was not identified by its fruit. נאמר כפי פשוטו שהוא מקום ידוע בגן שהוא בתווך. Right? So it's referring to a very specific, known and identifiable location. And what is that location of the word betoch? בתווך, at the center of the gan.
But what about smicha? But when he says,
and that's what betoch means.
Ve'etz ha'chaim betoch hagan. That's what he's saying. Ve'etz hadat v'tov v'ra.
Okay, it's also there. We're gonna later.
Get there yet.
Okay. ולכך תרגם, and that's why the Onkelos translated במציאות גינתה באמצע, in the middle of the gan. והנה לדבריו, according to the Onkelos, עץ החיים ועץ הדת שניהם היו באמצע. Right? Both the עץ הדת and the עץ החיים were in the middle of the gan. ואם כן נאמר, right? Why does the Ramban, yes, learned? How does he learn from the Onkelos that both trees were in the middle of the gan? Because he says like this: "V'atzmach Hashem Elohim min ha'ara kol inan ragag lemechze v'tav lema'achal ve'ilan hayaya." כן? במציאות גינתה ואילן דאכלה בפרוח כמין בין תו לאיש. Right? So he says the fact, כן? That there is no identification of the location of the Etz Hadat Tov V'Ra, right? but there is one for the Etz HaChaim, and these are the only two that cannot be eaten. So by default, they must be in the same place. Where? באמצע in the middle. והנה לדבריו עץ החיים ועץ הדעת שניהם היו באמצע, ואם כן נאמר שהוא כאילו תעשה באמצע הגן ערוגה אחת סוגה. So it's like there's a special plot, right? That is specific, right? הקדוש ברוך הוא made like almost like a gated little place where those trees were. So it's clearly identifiable once you know that it's in the middle of that these are the trees. ובא שני האילנות האלה. And inside that plot are those two trees. ויהיה האמצע הזה אמצע רוחב. He says, so that the emsa that we're talking about a circular one, like a little, a rahav one, a large center. We're not talking about a center exactly like to the dot.
In the middle.
Exactly. כי האמצע הדק, because if you want to talk about the emsa, the center, the fine dot, כבר אמרו שאין יודע בו אמיתת הנקודה. You can never really identify what the true center is. בלתי השם לדעו except for Hashem. Why? Because every center in itself, you can split it, and and you can go in resolution, keep on going, diving, right? So there's really never a specific center. So here in that case, we're not talking about Dafka the center. We're talking about the area where the center is. Ve'etz HaChaim, right? Good. Ve'etz HaChaim, and the tree of life. Ilan, it's a tree. Pirio noten be'ochalav chaim arukim. The fruit of its tree gives long life to people. Okay, which is very interesting, because is it long life or he's not going to die? Right? He says
He wasn't supposed to die, so why would it say long life? Was Adam supposed to die?
No, but once he eats from Etz Hadat Tov Hara,
He didn't eat from Etz Hadat.
who says that he wasn't going to die?
I'm asking you. I don't know.
Oh,
That's the same question with Etz HaChaim. That's the same question.
That's what
that's his question. That's his question.
The answer is-
long life means you're going to die.
The question is, what's the benefit for the body to live forever?
Okay, that's a philosophical issue. That's a different issue.
But that's
No, but that's not that.
In our minds, that means something different than maybe in this situation.
Right. So what he wants to say like this is that there's two trees you're not allowed to touch. The one of long life and the one of Etz Hadat Tov Hara. Now the Etz Hadat Tov Hara brings death.
He wasn't allowed to eat from Etz HaChaim?
No.
Oh.
Because that's the Hidush here. Because this
I didn't know that.
that's, by the way, and it's a machloket whether he's allowed or not. But we'll touch to it. But the moment Amen. The moment he eats from Etz Hadat Tov Hara, now he's going to die. Now, how does he protect himself from dying? Which is a big question. You eat from Etz Hadat, now you don't want to die. Just eat from Etz HaChaim right away.
But that means he's never going to die if he doesn't eat from both.
Correct. But then he's not contaminated. It's a different lifestyle.
But is that what the rabbis say?
Yes.
Chazal says that
There was no death. There was no concept of death. The concept of death came from Etz Hadat Tov Hara.
I got it.
it says there. Wait a minute. It says in the pasuk after it says in tochalat lemot tumah. No, it doesn't.
Nachon. No, but no. We know that. But what Maurice is asking is what was the that's Nachon. But what type of mita? Is it a physical mita? Is it an emotional? Is it a spiritual mita? Is it? And is there bichlal concept of mita? Maybe there's no concept of mita.
No, it's a question of this concept of mita before the sin.
That's what we're talking about.
There's no concept.
That's what we're talking about. That's exactly what we're saying.
I told you, Malbim.
Yes.
It says no, but it says if you're old.
Yeah, it's Malbim.
You're cheating.
No, Malbim doesn't always agree with that.
Okay. Ve'etz hadat tov hara. So okay, so that what is Etz HaChaim? Yeah, tell me.
You made a big mistake, Mechila. You should have taught him something that totally disagrees with the Rambam.
It does.
Totally.
It doesn't always agree.
You would have jammed him up something fierce.
It doesn't always.
Right?
Yes. but not always. But
Okay, sorry.
Right, on the nefesh, definitely, they don't.
No. At the end,
What's before and after, if that was, if the nefesh, okay, let's not get into that right now.
ואת הדעת טובה. Now that's we know what's עץ החיים. What is עץ הדעת טובה? אמרו המפרשים כי היה פריו מוליד תאוות המשגל. That the fruit awoke the desire of intimacy. ולכן, therefore, and nudity. Therefore, כיסו מערו מהם אחרי אוכלם ממנו, that's what they covered their nudity after they ate from it. והביאו לו דומה בלשון. And they brought proof of to support that opinion from Barzilai, מאמר Barzilai Giladi. Barzilai Giladi was a very wicked man. He lived a life of ta'avot that were incredible. Okay? That's what the Gemara in Masechet Shabbat, Shatu Bezima, the Gemara says. And then he became old very fast, and the elderness destroyed him. And when he was elder and he was weak because of the age, he says, Ha'eda ben tov le'ra. Can I differentiate? Can I know between tov and ra? Ki batla mimeno atavai. He was saying this in reference to what? To the desire of intimacy yeah. So what do you see? Okay, that there is a direct connection between tov and ra and the ta'avat hamishgal. Ve'enenu nachon etzli. By the way, this, if I'm not mistaken, is the Ibn Ezra, right? Whose opinion is that? I think it's the Ibn Ezra. What
Says
does it?
Ibn Ezra.
Yeah, and the Radak and the Ibn Ezra. Okay. So he disagrees. Ba'avur she'amar, why? He says because the pasuk says v'hitem keluhim yodei tovara. Now who says that? The Nachash says that, right? If you eat from the Etz Hadat Tovara, v'hitem keluhim, you'll become like a god, like Hashem. Yodei tovara. So he says, how can it be that you compare Hashem to that knows tov and ra, and you want to tell me that tov and ra is referring to Ta'avat HaMishgal? Maybe, what are you going to say? He liked her. The Nahash played her and to try to confuse her. But in reality, he knows that you cannot, there's no, that you cannot say, זה לא קשור. He says, that doesn't work. Why? הנה, the pasuk says clearly, ויאמר השם אלוקים, הן האדם היה כאחד ממנו לדעת טוב ורע. Adam is now one of us, like כביכול, that knows between good and bad. So now it's not the Nachash talking, it's HaKadosh Baruch Hu talking, right? So if HaKadosh Baruch Hu says it's going to be like one of us that can differentiate between good and bad, then Vadai, the good and bad, cannot be the Ta'ava of Ta'avat HaMishgal.
Who's Mimenu?
Well, it's
No, but in this case,
it's irrelevant. That's not the point of the Ramban. The point of the Ramban is just to prove the Tov and Ra.
I'm just asking a question.
Yeah.
Who's Mimenu?
It's irrelevant right now. When we're going to learn the Gimel, you'll know.
Oh, okay, we're not there yet. Okay.
Well, okay. וכבר אמרו, שלוש אמרו אמת, ועבדו מן העולם. Chazal say, 3, right, said the emet, and ended up dying. Who? The Nachash, Doeg, and the Meragelim.
Who's Doeg?
So the time of the Nevi'im.
The Meragelim said that?
כן, כן. Doeg was at the time of David HaMelech. כן. He was talking
Who's
talking
Doeg? Who's Doeg?
was talking bad about David HaMelech.
And he was right?
He said emet. He said emet. Yeah, he said emet.
So the Meragelim also said Emet.
Huh?
Yeah, Meragelim said Emet, but then they
That's right.
ganged up.
Tov. So what do you see from here? That the Nachash said the truth. נכון? Okay. So now you cannot tell me that what, like the Ibn Ezra, that Tov and Ra referring to Ta'avat HaMishgal. So what does it mean then?
Yeah.
What does it mean?
כי האדם, you want to guess?
No,
Okay.
definitely not.
כי האדם היה עושה בטבעו, man naturally would do מה שראו לעשות כפי התולדת. What he was supposed to do, naturally, and what he was created for. Yeah, he was formatted in a way that he would do naturally the רצון Hashem. There was no other inclination or no other tendencies but to do the right thing. By the way, this is the definition of Mashiach according to the Ramban. Ramban explains the definition of Mashiach like that. That when Mashiach will come, everybody will go back to become naturally driven to do the right thing without Yetzer Hara.
Before the sin.
Okay. Right now we're before the sin. Right now
No, I'm saying. The
yes,
Mashiach.
yes.
So we
Right.
all go back to be.
כן, אדם, כן.
Before the sin.
נכון.
Yeah, we had that debate.
כן. כאשר יעשו השמיים וכל צבעם, just like you find, yes, shamayim, the heavens, the stars and the asters, right? And all the constellations, they follow what they were created for. So to Adam will do the same thing. שהם פועלי אמת, שפעולתם אמת, right? They do אמת and their actions are אמת. ולא ישנו את תפקידם. They never change their work and their purpose. Meaning whatever Hashem was mitzaveh, commanding them to do, that's what they did.
That's sort of what you were saying last week.
כן.
That's sort of what he was saying last week with respect to Adam.
The what?
That he was not he had free choice, but he was never going
But
he
that was
never going to do bad.
No, exactly, no. That's not the debate was not that.
I said there was no Yetzer Hara.
The debate was, once you give a choice, yes,
Right, by definition,
you're going to end up, right?
Yeah.
You're in a worse position than if you don't have a choice. That's what we were saying.
Well, I said you're going to do bad.
I said you're in a better position if you have a choice and you pick the right thing versus have no choice, because then.
No, that's what he was saying.
No.
No,
He said that you.
I said by definition, when
if
you
you
give somebody a choice, he's destined to sin.
And I
Right.
think you're in a better place if you have the choice and you make the right
Yeah, that
choice.
was the reward.
Right, but
Correct.
the Rav said that that's not true. That you're better off not having
Being
a choice.
pure and not having
That's
a choice
right.
and doing
Doing
always
the right.
That's right. And that's Adam HaRishon before the sin.
right.
Okay? ואין להם במעשיהם אהבה או שנאה. You're not going to find love or hate in their behaviors.
Meaning what? They were just
No inclination, no emotions. Robotic.
We're talking right now about the stars and the.
Yeah, so, no, but it says and Adam HaRishon
Adam HaRishon,
was
yeah.
like that. Was supposed to be like that. כן, כן. ופרי האילן, and that fruit הזה, היה מוליד הרצון והחפץ. Right? That fruit gives the willpower and the desire.
Right.
שיבחרו אוכליו. Now, like, very careful, look at this. That now they're going to decide what to eat. אוכליו בדבר, או הפכו, or the opposite, לטוב או לרע. Whether it's for the good or for the bad. Meaning suddenly you choose to eat something and it could be bad, or you can choose not to eat something and it's bad, or it's good.
You know what's interesting? They always call it Etz HaDa'at. It's Etz HaDa'at Tovara.
נכון. ודאי שזה צוות טוב.
But nobody says that. They shorten it. It's a pretty important distinction.
נכון. Yes, because that gives the perspective of subjectivity.
Context, right.
For sure. לכן,
נקרא עץ הדעת טוב.
נקרא עץ הדעת טוב ורע. Like to your point. It's not just עץ הדעת, it's עץ הדעת טוב ורע. כי הדעת יאמר בלשוננו על הרצון. דעת refers to the willpower. Because what is da'at? What is da'at? Da'at is the practical application of the assessment of knowledge. Again, That is the practical application of the assessment of knowledge. Knowledge is chokhmah. Assessment of knowledge is bina. How you do practically now apply that information? That's da'at. Right? So the da'at essentially is the expression of the knowledge. Right? That's called ratzon. So he wants to say it's really when let's reformulate the terms of the Torah. It's not etz da'at tov vara, etz ratzon. Call it etz ratzon. Kilshonam lo shan. Okay, and he wants to bring from the Gemara lo shanu ela sheda'ato lachazor, sheda'ato lefanoto. Right? You see there that sheda'ato lachazor. What does it mean sheda'ato lachazor? It's not that his mind is to come back. His desire, he wants to come back, right? So you see that the word da'at is used for ratzon. Why is meant important for you to even want him? תחפוץ ותרצה בו, ידעתיך בשם, בחרתיך מכל אדם, מכל האדם. ידעתיך בשם, right? וכן מאמר ברזילי הגלעדי. So too, now let's go back to the proof that the Ibn Ezra wanted to bring to his opinion. He says, no, don't learn the word ha'edah ben tov lera to refer to what? To have a desire of the Mishra. No. she'avad mimeno koch ha'ra'ayon. He lost the desire, he lost the ratzon. That's רעיון דהיינו כוח הרצון. לא היה בוחר בדבר ולא קצבו. He had no desire to choose for something or to reject something. והיה אוכל מבלי שיטעום. Right? So that's Adam. אוכל בלי שיטעום. There was no taste. שומע מבלי שיתענג בשיר. He would hear, yes, pleasure. He would hear songs and he would not have any pleasures to it. It didn't have any effect. Now, I want to stop here for 1 second because there's a very, very fine distinction that needs to be made here. Listen to the words that he says. "Vaya ochel mibli sheit'om." He would eat without the taste. He didn't say bli ta'am. מבלי שיטעום, without him tasting. Okay? ושומע, מבלי שיתענג בשיר. And he would hear really, and he would not be מתענג, enjoy from what? From the song. From exactly. So it's the emotion of the sense.
Yeah, not the sense.
Why he doesn't talk about the sense itself? Because
tasting is the sense. So
no.
Saying that's a pleasure. It's a result of it. What he's saying is it's a result of the sense. You taste it, but you don't.
Would eat without tasting.
That's not right. No, without him actively tasting, not without taste. There was a taste, but he wasn't getting the pleasure of the taste, the emotional high.
You taste it, but you don't know if you like it or don't like it, basically. Or you just don't have that, right? You don't have.
I don't enjoy it, I guess.
Not that you don't. You don't have the emotion. But okay, if you say emotion is yes, enjoy is emotion. Yes. Why do I want to?
Come.
Why do I want to highlight here this point?
Why?
Because the Gaon in Shir HaShirim brings something nifla. He says that before the head of Adam Arishon, yes, Adam had his senses, and his senses were vibrant and alive, meaning the same way you touch something and you feel the heat or you feel the cold or you feel it's sharp or whatever, so too when they saw, the sight also had a palpable feeling to it, sense to it. And that's what God Chava to sin. Who cares that whether the woman saw that the tree was good to eat?
Wait, how did she see tov?
Again,
If there was no Tovera,
that's a different question. That's not my
that's what he
point.
just said.
No, we'll see that pasuk when it comes.
So it's the same as seeing the thunder and hearing the lightning at the time.
Correct. But on a much yes, but even on a much higher level. So now your sight, your eyes would enjoy just like your hand or touch, yes, the information just like your hand touched the information.
So she sees the tree, and she
And
enjoys
she
the.
tasted the tree, like the sight gave her a physical impact.
But,
Yeah.
but that's if something's pretty. You could say that you have that.
But that's not. But I understand. That's what the Rambam. I'm telling you what the Gaon is saying. You want to argue with the Gaon? We can. I'm telling you what the Gaon says, and then we get back to it.
No.
The Gaon says, and listen to Adasof. The Gaon wants to say that the part of the curse of Adam Arishon was that Hakadosh Baruch Hu took away those physical pleasures. Okay, she sins with the eyes, so Hakadosh Baruch Hu took it away completely.
But I thought he gave it to them because it's Adad.
No, that's what they had before. Before the sin, that's the difference I'm making here. And when you pay attention to the Ramban doesn't say that they didn't have a taste or they didn't have their ear didn't have a touch to it or an experience to it. They says that there was no oneg from it. There was no emotion that derived from it.
Before, after.
Before. But the sense itself, yes, the ear themselves, I don't know what that means, yes, but the ear themselves would enjoy, the smell, the nose would enjoy itself, not just an emotion that's born from it.
No, is he saying that it's going to enjoy? He's saying that there's no enjoying, it's just, there's a smell, but there's no mechanism to say if it's a good smell, bad smell, it's just a smell.
No. Again. However, you can understand that because we physically cannot relate to it. Okay? But the same way, when you put your hand on silk, yes, it has a nice pleasure, it feels good.
Yeah.
Okay. If you put your hand on fire, it hurts. Yeah. So too, there was the exact same experience when Adam and Chava smelled or heard something or saw something. That's the level of connection they had with their senses. When they sinned, Kadosh Baruch Hu took out 100% of the sight, of the pleasure or the experience of their sight, 100% from the ear. Okay, most of the smell, gets a little bit from the taste, and he left the touch.
He left the touch. So he's saying he took away most of the fruit eating senses.
That's right.
And the experiences that they had.
That's right.
And left them with certain things.
That's right. And that's very important to understand that, because that's what the Ramban insinuates when the Ramban tells you that there's not that there was no tam, but that there was tam, and the tam was very strong, but there was no emotional connection to it. There was no oneg to it. There was no oneg to the shir. Yes, but the shir would have an impact on the ear itself.
So that's what they're trying to teach us by using Barzilai?
No, Barzilai wants to prove from Barzilai that Ha'edah ben Tov Lera, meaning there was no ratzon of good and bad. Okay?
You asked me. I understand him saying that there is the senses, but there's no interpretation of the
That's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. But I'm explaining what does the sense mean?
I get that. So my question is, and I asked the question before, in relation to what he just said. How could Adam say that tov lema'achal?
Okay, when we're going to get to that pasuk, we're going to say that's a question on the pasuk. That has nothing to do with the Ramban or any mefaresh, right? Is it
correct?
That's a pasuk. Yeah, there's no tov vara before.
Right.
So
right. Okay.
So according to the Gaon, okay, it makes perfect sense because you're allowed to see something, and it has an impact on the eyes. So to her, it was good, but it's not the good and the bad that we're referring to in the Etz Hadat. והנה בעת הזאת, now at this point in time, meaning before the sin of Adam and Chava, לא היה בין אדם ואשתו התשמיש לתאווה. When they would pair, it was not out of desire or out of pleasure. אבל בעת ההולדה התחברו ויולידו. When it's time to give birth or for Chava to be pregnant, they just mate and pair and then give birth. That was it. ולכן היו האיברים כולם בעיניהם כפנים והידיים. So to them, all the organs of the body was just like the eyes, the hand, the face, nothing else. ולא התבוששו בהם, so they were not shy of anything.
Because it didn't mean anything.
It didn't mean anything. והנה אחרי אוכלו מן העץ, after they ate from the עץ הדעת טוב ורע. You sit until don't talk until we finish. I'm just letting you know right now. Okay? והנה אחרי אוכלו, no, I know why. הייתה בידו, והנה אחרי, sorry. והנה, אחרי אוכלו מן העץ, הייתה בידו הבחירה. He had the בחירה after he ate from the עץ הדעת טוב ורע. משמע, that before he ate from the עץ הדעת טוב ורע,
That's a rough one.
he didn't have the בחירה. וברצונו להרע או להיטיב בינו בין לאחרים. And then after he ate from עץ הדעת, now it's in him, he has the בחירה and the instinct to do good or bad to people. וזו מידה אלוהית מצד אחד. And that's a divine koach on one end, if you know how to do the good. ורעה לאדם, but it's bad for man, בהיות לו בה יצר ותאווה. Because now you have the koach HaBechira, and you have the inclination of the bad. Now that koach HaBechira becomes a weapon, right? You weaponize it because of the Yetzer Hara. But before you had the Yetzer Hara, lechaura what? The Bechira could be good, yes, but the koach HaBechira comes only because there's a bad in it. And therefore, because there's a bad in it, your bechira, going back to what Maurice wanted to say, now that you have a choice to make, if there is bad in it, yes, you're doomed to sin. That's why the bechira now is bad for man, it's ra for man, even though ultimately it's good when it's Hashem using it, because Hashem makes the bechira, the Elokim Kikachot makes the bechira, and obviously it doesn't have the Yitzhara.
That's a rough one.
Why?
Why is it rough?
Because the desire is, inherently bad. It's inherently evil.
Why?
It is. Because you're reading it here.
Well, desires.
Because that desire creates a lot of issues. It's a very bad thing.
But Pam, repeat what you said, Mechila.
Procreation, having children, if it was done without desire,
yeah,
okay, you
mate,
complete the task,
yeah,
and you move on,
yeah,
shaking hands.
yes.
Once you have that desire in you, it causes you to sin.
Nachon.
So it's bad.
Nachon, it is bad.
Yeah,
that's the ra.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the definition of the ra.
Very bad.
By the way,
I would venture to say that's the worst thing in the world.
That's why, and the Mikubalim, and it's brought in Mitat Kesef. I think maybe we've addressed it in the past. I'm not sure. In the contrast Mitat Kesef of the Yabetz Asfaradi, the Sidur Yabetz Asfaradi. Okay, after the Tefilat Arvit Shel Erev Shabbat Kodesh, he goes into all the mitzvah Tamishgal, the mitzvah of the mitzvah of Perur Vul of Leil Shabbat Kodesh. Because the Gemara says, "Talmidei Chachamim Erev Shabbat leErev Shabbat." Right? Talmid Chacham can only be intimate with his wife Leil Shabbat, only once a week, Friday night. That's mitzvah that you cannot be mevatel. Obviously, as long as the wife is a teora. Yeah, we're not talking about
after dinner.
Not during dinner, but after dinner. But pito before dinner. Before dinner, you're in shul. He says,
maybe after shul before dinner. No. Okay, that's a loaded responsibility. You go to sleep after dinner.
נכון. That's why it's chatzot laila, so you have time to digest. Okay, but anyways.
No, but explain this. This is a very, I mean, this is a good mitzvah that we need to understand. So you need to do the mitzvah b'chatzot halayla?
כן. מצווה חצות לילה, yes, and ליל שבת. Okay?
B'chatzot halayla leil
Of
Shabbat.
ליל שבת, yes.
Only once a week.
That's what the Gemara says. ותלמידי חכמים מערב שבת לערב שבת. עמי הארצות כתרגולני חוזרים אחרי like the עם הארץ is like a rooster that goes after the chick. Yes? That doesn't stop. That's the עם הארץ. The פועלים is 3 times a week. And תלמידי חכמים, the תלמידי חכמים is מערב שבת לערב שבת. Okay. That's me, but that's not my point. That's not what I want. The Yabetz Sfaradi explains at length why it is so important to have the proper kavanot when you pair, because if you those ideas, those emotions, if you're not fully aligned, and we're going to see in the Ramban soon, if you're not fully aligned, you distort the process, and that's what brings to the world physical, emotional, or spiritual disformation.
If you don't what the process?
If you're not perfect, if you're not aligned, okay, emotionally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, at the time of the mitzvah, and you don't have the right kavanot, right? So any disturbance or contamination in one of those 3 levels, yes, if the woman gets pregnant at that time, will lead to a deformation.
So
A flaw.
can I ask a question about this?
Yes.
It seems like you're saying that this process, this mitzvah, is strictly a mitzvah to
That's right.
achieve a certain result.
That's right. No, but
Not-
there is that or not. But now today, that there's a ta'ava and everything, you have an obligation. 2 things. First of all, you have an obligation towards your wife, and that's in the ketubah. When you sign the ketubah, you have an obligation to make sure that you satisfy your wife with all her needs. Okay, number 1. And the Chachamim say that if you have a yetzer hara, yes, then Baruch Hashem that you're zochet to have a wife, then you don't have to do a averot, right? Does that
What does that mean? If you what?
If a person has a yetzer hara,
Yeah.
that he has a hard time controlling, yes, Baruch Hashem, he has his wife that he can.
It's better to do with your wife than with your girlfriend. That's what they're saying. But that's right. But I'm just saying, I'm translating.
But a
how
man is not allowed to enjoy the mitzvah.
No, but physically you do enjoy it. But that you do enjoy it. Nobody tells you not to enjoy it. Today you have no choice but to enjoy it. Nobody can tell you. Whoever tells you that he does the mitzvah doesn't enjoy, it's not possible. If he's actually doing the mitzvah.
Because by definition, you have to.
But do you need to enjoy the mitzvah?
Yes.
All mitzvah.
Depends who your wife is, really.
Yeah.
I want to understand something. But you just said something, and again, how come that we are responsible for satisfying the ketubah, satisfying the wife, but she's not responsible for satisfying us? Who wrote that ketubah?
No, let's go. That's not.
I'm just saying that's
Yeah, why she's not? She's responsible to finance you. You're the one responsible to make sure that
want
you.
equal rights. That's equal rights. Huh?
There's no equal rights.
I know.
There's no equal rights. So anyway, to go back to that point, yes, that the whole mitzvah, which is essentially the only mitzvah, yes, like the Sefer Chinuch brings, yeah, of perurvu, is done mamash l'shem shamayim, without any disturbance of emotion or different thoughts or anything. Okay.
That's because it was given before the chet.
כן. ואפשר שנתכוון הכתוב לעניין הזה כשאמר כי האלוהים עשה את האדם ישר. Right? That's what Shlomo HaMelech means. Hashem created man straight, meaning what? Before the sin. והם ביקשו חשבונות רבים. And they're the one who started, wanting too much. Exactly the pasuk of the Malbim, by the way.
Yeah.
I want to tell you something. This is incredible. This morning we learned a Gemara in Masechet Barachot about the 3 mishmarot that at night. The first mishmar, That's the donkey
Donkey.
barks, the second mishmar of the kelev,
The dog.
the kelev, the
Yeah.
dog that I give back to back after my shiur on Mishlei. The Gaon on Mishlei brings again the Gemara.
Oh.
Now, what are the and today the Malbim brought that pasuk of Kohelet.
Wow.
כי האלוהים עשה את האדם ישר והמה ביקשו חשבון רחבים.
Yeah.
So he wants to say that היושר שיאחוז דרך אחת ישרה. ישר, what does it mean ישר? What does it mean to be straight? To be straight is to be on one path. Yes, it's not that to have two paths. You take one path and נגמר הסיפור. והבקשה בחשבונות רבים, but to want to have to have a lot of חשבון, a lot of thought process, שיבקש לו מעשים משתנים בבחירה ממנו. That's the desire of wanting now to have the בחירה so that you can make different choices. And that supports very strongly, yes, what Maurice said, that the moment you ask for the bechira, yes, you're in trouble. That's exactly what the Ramban is saying. He's saying as long before yashar. What does it mean yashar? There's no straight, there's no right, there's no left. So mashma from this Ramban that before Adam Harishon ate from Etz Hadat Tov Hara, lo haya lo bechira. He didn't have free will.
That's why he only created men.
Oh no, he didn't create. He created man.
No.
No. That's
Zachar unkeva barotam, and then the Nisira happens before the Chet. As on the Kenegdo. Well, if you want Shalom Bait classes, we can go after that. No, the second strike, Maurice.
I don't know if he should have created the woman.
he created it from the beginning.
They always cause trouble. This is what happened here in the beginning.
Then you would be gay.
No,
Yeah.
that's why men has nipples.
Oh, you want to hear what he wants to
We
say?
get back, yes.
Yeah, what he wants to say.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Procreate himself.
Think about that.
Yeah. Well, that was
That was-
the intent.
I didn't make that.
That was the
No,
intent.
the Malbim says that. Androgynous barat Adam.
Yeah.
The Chachamim says that it was men and female at once.
Of course.
But the Torah says that. וכאשר נכון?
But then he
You can
needs.
find, now we have a doctor. You can find male and female organs in one body?
You can, but they don't function. If they have them both, they usually.
Today.
That will work. Now,
Today.
yes,
So the Hidush is that at the time of Adam Harishon, they were functionable.
right.
Until HaKadosh Baruch Hu separated them. So that the dysfunction of them is because of the Nisira. If it wasn't for the Nisira, it would have functioned.
What does Nesidah mean?
The separation between men and between Adam and Chava.
Okay.
וכאשר ציווהו הקדוש ברוך הוא על העץ שלא יאכל ממנו. Now, 1 second. If there's no בחירה, so what's that ציווי of not eating? לא הודיעו כי בו המידה הזאת. He didn't tell him that what? That what?
There was the knowledge.
Exactly. He didn't
The
tell him.
differentiation.
He didn't tell you what
But
the
maybe he
nature of the
couldn't
tree.
Understand it.
Huh?
Maybe he couldn't understand
He
that.
couldn't.
Okay, so
He
why would you
couldn't.
tell him?
רק אמר לו סתם ומפרי העץ אשר בתוך הגן.
But
כלומר,
he knew good and bad.
he didn't know.
What was the thing that he knew?
אמת אין שקר.
Emet and sheker. Sorry.
כלומר, הידוע באמצעותו, whatever you know, that is in the middle. לא תאכל ממנו, whatever it's, that one, the one that is in the middle of the gun, לא תאכל ממנו, don't eat from it. But it didn't give, הקדוש ברוך הוא didn't give אדם הראשון any explanation about that tree and what it does and what it doesn't do.
Where did it say that?
What?
Where did it say that sentence?
וכאשר,
No, because it says after that.
105.
ויצב להם את האדם לאמור מכל עץ הגן
נכון.
תאכל תאכל ומעץ הדעת טוב ורע לא תאכל ממנו. כי הם במחלתך מלומות טומאת. What are you talking about? He had bechira. He explained to him what it is. He told him what the tree is, and he told him what the ramification. So how can you not have bechira?
did he show any did he specify what is that tree? Where
He
is
didn't show him where it is.
he just said
עץ הדת טוב ורע לא תאכל. He didn't tell him
he
it's
didn't
בתוך
but
הגן.
he didn't also explain him what does it mean tov and ra. Did he? If you don't understand what tov and ra is,
Okay, so but that's the mechila. I'm gonna have to answer this because If we said that again, different perush. But if the Adam was born with understanding everything that he understood the word. So how can you say that he doesn't know what Torah is? And then he doesn't. Then he also doesn't know what gun is. Okay, gun he saw. But how can you say? I'm sure that if we take every word, there's words here, that you could say.
No.
But
What does that mean? What does it mean? What's the impact? Okay, it's a name. It's that tovara. What does it mean? That tovara.
Okay, I'll go with you. But then it says,
But with me, it's with the Ramban.
He also didn't know what Mavet is.
יכול להיות.
So why is it?
יכול להיות. It's just in Achinami. It's just a tzivui. It's just a tzivui. It's just a tzivui. Maybe you're right.
But if there's a tzivui, then how's this? Okay, now you lost me. If there's a tzivui, how is there an onish? You speak to me Chinese, and then I say, "Well, you did."
No. I'm telling you, there's a tree. Okay, it's that tovara. Whatever that tree does. Okay, you're not allowed to eat from it.
But how to eat? But you just said that he didn't tell him. It says, according to this.
No, he didn't tell him the nature of it. What does it mean, da'at tovara?
No problem. How does he know which tree it is? It doesn't show it.
That's what it starts with. Because he says, betavech, betochagan. Wherever those two trees that you have in the middle there, you're not supposed to eat.
He doesn't say that.
Yeah, but yes, he does.
ומעץ הדת טוב ורע לא תאכל ממנו.
נכון, but read the whole pasuk. Read the whole pasuk. ויצמח השם אלוהים מן האדמה כל עץ נחמד מראה וטוב למאכל. ועץ החיים בתוך הגן ועץ הדעת טוב ורע. Right? And then it says, what does he tell him?
Read. Yeah.
כן?
That's Zion.
כן? ויצב, then, ויקח השם אלוהים את האדם ויחנו בגן עדן. אוקיי? ויצב השם אלוהים על האדם לאמור מכל העץ הגן אכול תאכל ומעץ הדעת טוב ורע לא תאכל ממנו.
מאיזה איפה זה? Tell me, but in this משפט, where, again,
he already told him that there's עץ הדעת בתוך הגן.
He didn't tell him that. That's okay. So maybe I'm reading. No, he didn't tell this to him. ויתה אדוני השם גן בעדן מקדם וישים את האדם שם ויצמח אדוני. That's what he did. ויצב אותם is only in Tet Zayin. So he didn't speak to them, and he didn't tell them which is the tree.
ותאמר האיש של הנחש ומפרי העץ אשר בתוך הגן אמר אלוהים לא תאכלו ממנו ולא תיגעו בו פן תמותו.
Where did he say that?
פרק ג' פסוק ג'. Right?
Right, but he never said that. Kadosh Baruch Hu never said that. If you look at the, I'm dying to go get the Malbim, but I won't, because he'll address this.
We've learned this already. Yes, we did. We didn't?
No. We're not here.
We're
okay,
maybe we're passing behind.
But do you see what I'm saying? You're right. He never tells Adam that it's betoch hagan. She's saying, but she also said that that you shouldn't touch it.
That's what she said.
Okay, but she also said betoch hagan, but that Kadosh Baruch Hu didn't say that.
What's your point?
My point is, he goes here, it's a very interesting comment. He says here, how is there's no bechira. Right? He starts with this whole idea, there's no bechira. So I said, right here. Okay, he says, לא דיו כעמידה, בו המידה הזאת, רק אמר לא סתם. ומפרי העץ אשר בתוך הגן, where's ג'
Well, you're saying because the Ramban said something before the commandment happened?
He has a different sentence, he's saying.
וכאשר ציווהו הקדוש ברוך הוא על העץ, שלא יאכל ממנו, when Hashem tells him, whenever he tells him not to eat from that tree.
Right, whenever he tells him.
What does he tell him? That's
Oh, here, I'll tell you, look,
No, I think you 1 second. תן לי, בוא,
it's
you- you-
a
you
Gimel.
go- I sent you to Gimel. That's what the Nachash says.
Correct.
That's what the Nachash says. But
Yeah,
1
that's not
second.
what
Wait,
it
1 second. Time out. I think you're going a little too fast. Okay? פסוק ט"ז. ויצב השם אלוהים על האדם לאמור, מכל עץ הגן אכול תאכל, ומעץ הדעת טוב ורע לא תאכל ממנו, כי ביום אכולך ממנו מות תמות. נקודה. Now let's see what the Ramban says. כאשר ציווהו הקדוש ברוך הוא על העץ, שלא יאכל ממנו, which is that פסוק that we just read, לא הודיעו כי בו המידה הזאת, the מידה of דעת. הוא לא אמר לו כלום, רק אמר לו סתם, הוא מפרי העץ, אשר בתוך הגן, כלומר הידוע באמצעות,
באמצעותו in the center of it.
yes,
But it doesn't say באמצעותו, but okay. והוא מאמר האישה אל הנחש.
לא תאכל, כידוע באמצעותו, לא תאכל ממנו, והוא מאמר האישה אל הנחש. Right? When do you find out that it's in themselves the gan? פרק ג' פסוק ג'.
Correct.
והכתוב שאמר, ומעץ הדעת טוב ורע לא תאכל ממנו, הזכירו הכתוב אלינו בשמו. Right? So what does he say? He says, when he tells, what's his point? His point is that when Hashem talks about the עץ הדעת טוב ורע, the tzivui to Adam HaRishon, he doesn't say nothing. There's a tzivui without any clarity to it, and any explanation whatsoever.
So how would Adam know where it is?
Okay, so that's the
That's my
question.
question. And but how would he know? But how would he? I also don't understand. How would he know what? If I go by what the Rav says, that he doesn't know, he doesn't have any understanding, so he doesn't know what tov and he doesn't know what mavet is. So why does the Kadosh Baruch?
But he knows what something. He knows what.
I think he does know what mavet is, but actually, how would he know what mavet is? There was no mavet created.
No, the same way he doesn't know tov, he doesn't know tov vera, he doesn't know mavet.
Didn't he learn all the words at once?
That's what he's scared.
We just learned yesterday that Adam Rishon learned all the words at one shot, the whole vocabulary.
Was it one shot or it was like a download? Like a
No, but when it was it was
Not only in one shot.
one shot.
It was not a
So
process.
he had. The question is, he knew
When?
the words, but did he know what?
Right away, when he was born, when he was created.
So then he should have had that.
No, but no, he had knowledge. He didn't have the da'at. The da'at of tov vera, the ratzon.
The brain, but he didn't put two and two together because he didn't have the dot.
Again, da'at is the application, the practical
Yeah, he
application.
couldn't apply it.
He could only apply emet and sheker. Again, if you say emet, yes, it's sheker, no.
But didn't you say? I'm just trying to say here.
That way.
I don't want to confuse, but
The absolute tov and the absolute ra. He doesn't say that.
no, you're not going to absolute Torah, but the way that he knew to name the animals because he understood the essence of it.
That's
wouldn't-
different. That's different. That's different.
Okay, wouldn't he also know what the essence of Tov and Ra and the essence of
Because the Malbim understands that tov and ra was in absolute. Something he doesn't say.
the Tov and Ra?
Yeah, exactly. Because according to the Malbim, he says in the emet there's an absolute tov and in the sheker there's an absolute ra. So he says that's the machloket that he has. That you're right. Therefore, he can relate to that. But the Ramban doesn't say that.
No, but he has two Tov and Ra. There's one that's related, one.
Yes,
that's not,
but he
okay.
does have. That's the whole point.
But the Rambam says that he had no. What does he say? Let's just again. לא הודיע-
ואפשר שנתכוון הכתוב לעניין הזה כשאמר, עשה את היושר, שיאחוז דרך אחת ישרה. זה בגדר אפשר. בגדר אפשר. דהיינו what? That he's ישר, הוא הולך תמיד על הצד הטוב,
Yeah.
נכון? והבקשה בחשבונות רבים, שיבקש לו מעשים משתנים בבחירה ממנו. Right? What does it mean, בקשה בחשבונות רבים, which is the sin? שיבקש לו מעשים משתנים בבחירה, right? He wants other paths or other directions than the דרך הישר, so he's בכוח הבחירה, and that's how he sins.
Did you see the explanation that he has?
Why?
So he has an interesting explanation. He says the verse that records God's command to Adam not to eat from the forbidden tree and refers to the tree as the tree of knowledge is not a direct quote of God, words to Adam. Rather, the Torah inserted the name of the tree for our information, so we
Yes.
are aware
Yes.
for the properties of the tree.
Yes.
That's
כן.
this is basically.
כן. It was never addressed. It was never said. That's the explanation he wants to give here. That בעצם the טוב ורע was never said to Adam HaRishon.
So
That's what he
was
wants to
said?
say. What the Ramban says.
The tree.
ומפרי העץ אשר בתוך הגן.
This is still made by the woman, the serpent.
That's what he wants to say. He wants the Ramban. It's good what you're saying. The Ramban wants to say that be'emet, yes, what the tzivui, what Hashem told Adam HaRishon is only umeperi ha'etz asher betoch hagan lo tochelu. It's a da'at tovara that we read is for the context of the reader of the Torah.
But how would Adam know which tree he's talking?
Betoch hagan. That's what he says. Betoch hagan.
I see. Okay.
And that goes back to to his yesod.
Doesn't matter what it's called.
Huh?
It doesn't matter what it's called.
Again, it doesn't say that.
But read what the Ramban says.
But
The Torah tells you to talk to you. But what Hashem told Adam is something else. That's the Hidush of the Ramban. That what the Torah, what Hashem told Adam HaRishon, umeperi ha'etz asher betoch hagan lo tochelu. That was.
comes to that from Gimel.
Huh?
That's
כלומר, הידוע בהם,
that's from Pasuk Gimel from the
כן.
conversation later.
לא תאכל ממנו. והוא מאמר האישה אל הנחש. From the מאמר of
Yeah, from the mom, what he refers to what the
look at what Gimel. What does Gimel says?
yeah.
What does Gimel says? Again. ומפרי העץ אשר בתוך הגן, אמר אלוהים לא תאכלו ממנו. Right? So now the question of the Ramban, okay, tell me, you, Chava, how do you know which tree it is?
בתוך הגן.
בתוך הגן. But what, with the Nachash that's so smart and so wicked, why didn't he tell you את הדת טובה? Because it was never said. That's the Hidush of the Ramban.
What did she say? But she also, this is Gimel, right? So,
ותאמר האישה לנחש ומפרי העץ הגן נאכל. נקודה. That's what she says. ומפרי העץ אשר בתוך הגן, אמר אלוהים לא תאכלו ממנו. Right? That's what she knows.
So I'm gonna.
That's what she knows. Why doesn't she say מתוך עץ הדעת טובה?
No problem. I'm with you. Let's assume that that's correct.
That's not correct. That's the pasuk.
Okay, but if you go with that, you're trying to think. Okay, I'm with you. But then you can't read the pasuk and ignore the other half.
What is the other half? Where is the other half?
ולא תיגעו בו פן תמיתון.
מה זה קשור עכשיו with the definition of the name of the tree?
No, רגע, סליחה. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to understand something. It says here that you said that.
יאללה.
The Ramban said that you refer that HaKadosh Baruch Hu never said it's Tovadat Adam.
No.
But and you refer to that.
And how do they know where it is? No. Then how do they know where it is?
That we understand.
Very good. And we know that he told that it's Betoch Hagan because that's what the Isha says.
No. But the Isha also says, she says, בתוך הגן, אמר אלוהים לא תאכלו ממנו ולא תיגעו בו פן תמיתון.
No. So again, look at the טעמים.
Read me with the time.
לא תאכלו ממנו ולא תיגעו בו פן תמותון. It's two ציוויים.
Okay.
two ציוויים.
But now we're saying as that we're taking from the לא תאכלו ממנו.
Yes.
That's how.
No, ולא תאכלו ממנו. From the word בתוך הגן.
בתוך הגן.
בתוך הגן, nothing else.
Okay. But you know my question is going to be, because she also says לא תיגעו פן תמיתון. So you're saying the first half we go by what she said.
You're not understanding. You're not understanding.
Yeah.
He's saying.
Yeah.
He's saying like this. Says the Ramban. where did Hashem tell? Yes, gave it sivui and how did he call the tree to the Adam Rishon? How did he call the tree? So he says only that was the name of the tree. That's his chidush. That's his
location.
That's
location.
it.
He didn't call.
And how do I know that? He says I know that from that pasuk because of the way Chava is identifying the tree. She doesn't say me'et hadat tovara. She said me'et hagan miperi ha'etz asher betoch hagan. So I see from that what she heard from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, from Adam HaRishon, okay, was that there's a tree betoch hagan and you're not allowed to eat from it.
So why did Torah have to insert?
For us to know that it's referring to the etz hadat tovara.
Well, who cares? What do we need to know?
That's the beginning of all the fall down of humanity. What do you mean?
It could be in any tree. They don't have to name the tree.
But again, it's coming to tell you the tchuna, the essence of the tree, and the impact it will have. Okay. It's not for the name itself.
By the way,
and that's what he's saying.
The sin, if you think about it, the sin is much more severe. If you think about it, if they didn't even know the benefit of the tree, then it's like she ate it because she saw that it was good. She liked the apple. She wanted to like, don't touch the apple. The apple looks good. I eat it. She didn't even know what the benefit the tree is going to give if that's a man.
But the Nachash told her.
Okay, but so how does the Nachash?
We're gonna get to the Nachash.
But one question. I'm done with this. You're trusting the woman, which clearly she's not trustworthy, to say that she said that this is what Hashem said. Okay, betoch hagan amar Elohim lo tochlu menu. But she also adds berotiguba, which we know.
Was an addition.
So how do we know that we trust her for the first half and we can't trust her for the second half?
Here is question.
That
you hear this question?
Yeah.
He wants to say maybe that's also maybe yeah, but you have no proof the other way.
But you don't have a proof.
You don't have no proof the other way. You understand?
You could say have been a chash then no.
Yeah, okay, but that's the Ramban. Okay, so you have a good question on the Ramban. Okay, you have a good question on the Ramban. I don't have an answer.
I'm saying,
why did the Ramban decide to trust what she says on those words and not on the rest?
Trust her on half the send. The first half he says she's met.
Good. Torah Michael is going to be one of the questions.
Come on.
Huh? We have to do.
You have to put it in the book.
We have to do it. I told him all the questions he has on Malbim. We're going to get somebody that in the recordings. We're going to take out all the questions. We're going to write a pirush. All right?
That's a great thing.
No, he has good questions sometimes.
The questions are better than the answers.
Okay, well, let's finish. So he says like, so how do I know it's betoch hagan? Because that's what the Isha tells the Nachash. There's a problem. That was the question you're going to ask. The Torah says, Hashem tells clearly, right? So that's a stira to what he just said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good sign.
The Torah is talking to us. Not that this is not what he told. This is not what he told Adam HaRishon. This is what the Torah is talking to us.
Right.
So Le'olam, Hashem told Adam HaRishon, okay, there's a tree betoch hagan, and that's what you don't eat, and that's what we have here in the beginning. Vaitzmach betoch hagan, right? That's the pasuk, and that's the identity that this tree has, okay, by Adam HaRishon. Anything else that refers to etz hadat tov vara are information given to the reader for us to know the essence of the tree, so that we understand the impact it will have, and we can learn from the chet of Adam HaRishon and all the collateral damage it had.
So how did the Nachash say Yudei Torah?
The Nachash knew.
How did the Nachash know?
Because the Nachash is the Yetzer Hara, זה הרע בעצמו. That's less of a question. Ken? So the Rambam has two opinions. One opinion, the first opinion is that he didn't have Behira before he ate from the Etzadat Tovara. We had the Bechira, but he had the inclination, Yeshara, to always do the right thing, right? And when he ate from the Etzadat Tovara, that now he got all contaminated and confused, then the Koach HaBechira led him to do all these mistakes.
So he does have Bechira or he doesn't?
You have two opinions.
No,
The first opinion is that, like we said, he doesn't have the Bechira. And then it says, ואפשר, שנתכוון הכתוב לעניין הזה, כשאמר כי האלוהים עשה את האדם ישר, והמה ביקשו חשבונות רבים, היושר שיאחוז דרך אחת ישרה. He holds on to one path, right? והבקשה בחשבונות רבים, שיבקש לו מעשים משתנים בבחירה ממנו.
but then what happened if you had Bechira before? Right, if you had Bechira
only the Bechira of Emet and Sheker.
Emet and Sheker.
Yeah, which was Derech HaYashar.
Well, I guess you could say that it's Emet and Sheker because the Emet was to follow God's path and the Sheker was not to follow.
Nachon.
By the way, if according to Ramban, like I said, don't you think the Chet was much worse? Because Tachlis, I guess Nachash told her what the result is going to be, and that's
We'll get to this.
understand the problematic
we
side
don't know this. We haven't learned the opinion of the Ramban on the Chet Adam HaRishon.
No. It's the problem that he believes half her sentence and not the other. Okay.
That's a good.
No.
Why? Because he has way to support it from the other psukim. He has a way to.